Hey, if your type 2 diabetes is causing you to have issues with erectile dysfunction, just erections, and you're looking to get over having type 2 diabetes, then stay tuned because what I'm going to do today is talk about the 4 main points that you need to understand so you can incorporate it into your life so you have a better sex life and you can possibly get rid of your diabetes altogether. And hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and for the last 20 years I've been a sexual performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac, and during that time I've done a lot of studies in terms of understanding type 2 diabetes and come across some great information I want to share with you today. Specifically, what I want to talk about is first some things that you may not know about how your body works. Also, sugar. I'm sure you understand a lot about this information. We're going to talk about meats, which is very important. And we're also going to talk about fasting, which is a great way to get rid of diabetes and get your erections back. So if you like what you hear, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. And as a full disclaimer, I am a sexual performance coach. I am not a doctor. I don't play one on YouTube, but I do want you to get this information. So with that said, let me break this down till it cannot be broken anymore. So I know some of you guys are like, hey, I know a lot about my body. What are you going to tell me about it? I got a question for you. When you lose weight, where does it go? It's like a trail of fat going out your ankle or something like that. If you don't know the answer to that question, you may not be looking at all my videos. What I'm going to do is break that down for you in a second. But first, I just want to say that your body doesn't care what you think of. It's just going to take in what you've given it and it's going to break it down the way that it needs to break it down. Whenever you eat or drink anything, there's a huge complex chain of events that happen within your body to turn whatever you ate into your finger, your fingernail, your hair nail, your skin, everything. You literally are what you eat. And what happens is the food travels through your digestive system to be broken down. Then it goes throughout your arteries and your veins and the capillaries to do the things of moving oxygen and blood throughout your entire body. Now, here's the thing. Within all of those arteries, veins, and capillaries, you have a thin wall which moves the blood through. It has nitric oxide that just pushes the blood through. It releases the nitric oxide. But the problem is when they become coated with different things, when they become coated, it becomes more difficult for the blood to move through because it starts erasing that layer. Once that layer is erased, you have huge problems. Not only is it harder for blood to move through, it gets stickier and the nutrients can't go through the blood vessels to get to the organs and everything that's needed for. And to answer that question real quick, you'll see how it ties in later. You lose weight by breathing. You're a literal windbag. So 86% of waste, 80% of your weight is lost through breathing. And the other 14% is through sweating, urination, and defecation. Now, so let's talk about the sugar side of it because it's called sugar because not only is it because the blood smells sweeter, but basically because you have too much glucose going through those veins. Now, sugar is everywhere. It's added to everything basically because cha-ching, you can make money. It's addictive. You add a sugar to a hamburger bun, you sell more hamburgers. Pretty simple. The problem is your body runs off of sugar. So whatever you eat, it's going to turn some part of that into glucose because that's what your body needs in the form of energy. The problem is when you add in excess sugar, that's like adding rocket fuel to a car. And so what's going to happen? Well, yeah, that car is going to get revved up, but it's just going to burn itself out and whatever's left over is just going to become toxic. It's going to gunk up the whole system. And that is how sugar diabetes is basically formed. The issue is that sugar is going to start coating everything inside the veins. It's going to coat all your organs. And the most susceptible parts are going to be, some parts of your body may need to be amputated and even your eyes. It could cause blindness. And so basically diabetes means you're sugar-coated candy inside. Sounds cute, but it's not good. But sugar is only the symptom. The real cause is actually meat. Now, quick disclaimer, I used to eat 200 animals a month. I am not a cow hugger. I'm not a chicken hugger. I understand the whole thing about wanting to eat meat, having had it throughout my entire life. But if you have type 2 diabetes, this is the cause of type 2 diabetes. Why is that? Well, let's go back to that one simple example. When that thin layer gets coated with animal fats because your body cannot digest animals fully. So what ends up happening, it starts coating the inside. Not only does it cause lumps that can cause all types of other issues, but when in terms of diabetes, because it's going to start tearing away at that thin layer. So no longer do you have the nitric oxide going through, and it stops the nutrients from getting into your body. So the sugar stays inside of your bloodstream. That's what's happening. Now you can say, oh, I'm not going to eat sugars, and your body's going to turn it into glucose, whatever you eat into glucose anyway. But adding excessive sugar, though it's not good for you, eating meat is the thing that's causing the issue. So let's just break a couple of myths right quick. You are not a carnivore. Carnivores eat meat raw, which means you're not an omnivore, because omnivores eat plants and eat meat raw. Our ancestors ate nowhere near the amount of meat that we eat today. That's just basic facts. And let's just admit, meat is not great for you. It's not even good for you. It just tastes good. We've used to eating it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you have diabetes, you have to cut it out. And that saying everything in moderation does not make any sense at all. Would you smoke crack in moderation? How about just taking some opioids in moderation? So let's get to what can help. And that is fasting. Your body heals when your stomach, when your intestines, when it is empty, because your body's priority is to focus in on what is inside your stomach, because it could either have some nutrients or it could have some poisons in it. And in fact, if it stays in your stomach for too long, even the nutrients can become toxic to your body. Now, let's be clear. Your body is designed for fasting. In fact, it's so inlaid, you have to go to sleep just so you can stop eating. So don't get into the idea that fasting is somehow bad for you. It's not. Don't worry about, oh, I'm going to lose muscle mass. No, you're not. It's actually the opposite that happens when you're in a fasted state. Your body improves because it now needs to remember where the food is. It needs better vision. It needs to grow your fingernails longer so you can fight for it. It will clear up your skin. Everything wonderful happens when you're in a fasted state, including the increase of testosterone and human growth hormone. And what happens, and what is a great thing about fasting when you have diabetes, is that your body will look to burn the glucose first. So your body will go through and it's like, well, this is the best energy for me to use. It will start burning through your glucose. So you're removing the first issue that you have, which is too much sugar in your body. The second issue that you have, which is the coating, the problem that you have with all that meat clogging up your system, is that will start to begin removing through the waste. So even if you're just sitting there and not doing exercising, you're breathing, yes, that waste is coming out. If you happen to move your blood flow and you're burning more glucose, more waste is coming out. That CO2 is dragging all that crap out of you. Now, here's an issue that you have to pay attention to when you're fasting, is that when you fast, you can expose the waste too fast. So if you have something in your system that's just not right and you go straight into fasting without, taking some precautions, well, yeah, you're going to get some headaches, you're going to get some issues, which goes into this next point. The cleaner your system is when you go into a fast, the better it is. So if you go through, okay, I'm going to stop eating meat, I'm going to add more fruits and vegetables into my diet, I'm going to start intermittent fasting, and then I go into my fast, you've gone the great process of like, oh, your body knows what to expect. It's healthier. It doesn't have to deal with the waste coming back up. A lot of guys, or a lot of people, period, make the mistake of, oh, I'm about to fast tomorrow, so let me get the greatest meal and get some drinks and get some whatever I wanted to eat. And then your body's going to go back to what you just ate when it's ready for more. And it's like, hold up, alcohol? Oh, well, this is a headache. I learned a lot of this information from Dr. Jason Wong, so please check him out. I have a link to some of his information below. So let's just run over type 2 diabetes and testosterone. Half of all men with type 2 diabetes have testosterone issues. They have lower testosterone. And that's pretty simple to understand because sugar lowers testosterone. Now, type 2 diabetes is reversible. It has happened. Anyone telling you that it cannot happen, back out of the room slowly. And the reason is because they are part of the Magic Pill Society, which is to say that, hey, when you were all right, things were all right, and then you did some certain things, weren't eating well, blah, blah, blah. I'm not just blaming you. I'm just saying this is what happened. Your body doesn't care what you think. It just knows what happened. And then you ended up with type 2 diabetes. The Magical Pill Society says, don't worry about it. Just keep on taking our stuff and we'll be fine. And you'll just keep on maintaining that exact same diabetes status until it gets worse, in which case they'll start selling you more medicine. No one profits off of you when you don't have this disease, so look to getting it taken care of. And remember, this is the internet age. you can get as much information as you need to heal yourself. Your body is your responsibility. So in conclusion, your body is an incredibly complex windbag. Excessive sugar is rocket fuel for a car that's going to corrode the engine and gunk everything up. Meat is the cause of diabetes. Start cutting that out yesterday. Fasting is the fastest natural way to get rid of diabetes. Get out of the magical pill cult. The goal is to have less excessive sugar in your system and to repair those veins, arteries, and capillaries. So the question of the day is, if you have diabetes, have you been told that it's incurable? Please write your comments down below. We need to learn from each other. If you like what you heard, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and check out some more of these videos around here so you can get the information you need. This is Uncle B saying, get your game up. Peace out.